행사에 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 미니언 생성까지
Off we go. Game number 3 of this best of 5. And the way it's looked, the games have been so close, I would not be surprised if we go all the way to game 5. But
especially as, I mean, we've kind of stabilized now, but if Honor Life Esports, you know, we're favoring the draft on blue side, they end up winning this, then Genji's on blue side, you know, so
yeah,
it could, if we end up just seeing the advantages going over the blue side, end up that way. But to be honest, you know, you never know with these series which direction will go in. Both AD carries starting Cole. Kind of expecting this just to be a farm lane. That's clearly expressing. They're just trying to get as much value as possible. I think the thing is, you know, this was obviously much more common in the past, the Cole start. Since they buffed Doran's Blade, it feels like in so many situations, AD carries have been going it. So you really know they're out to farm. They're out just to scale up when they're both going Cole in the situation.
Yeah, we got Grasp once again here, by the way, for Chovy. Did play this in game number 1 into the Akali. This time it's into a higher range champ, obviously the Ahri. Not super high range or anything, but...
Yeah, I think we saw the full Bruiser build from him in game 1. I don't think we'll see that again here, simply because it's a very different dynamic. You know, that game 1 was into 4 melee champions and Zeri. You were kind of just stuck in the mixer against them. This is a very different game here. And Tom Kent's been looking very good, with a caveat. A lot of the time it's been paired with Senna.
Yeah.
But still, I think paired with Jinx is one of his strongest pairings. And she was the champion who, you know, she didn't actually receive any changes, but on this patch, after the crit changes, her like solo queue win rate flew up like over 2%. Like, it really made a massive difference to her. I think she's the AD carry who probably benefited the most from them. So
yeah,
kind of been a bit of a sleeper pick. We've seen it banned occasionally. We have seen it pop up here and there, but not too common so far in the playoffs.
It's definitely a very strong pick. I think that Jinx is, you know, we have seen the Aphelios here and there, but certainly the Jinx feels even better with some of the changes that we have seen to the itemization. And as the players have expected, this bottom lane has been mostly just a farm lane for now, although Peyz has fallen a little bit behind on the CS.
Yeah, Viper and Delight got the level 2 first, which is kind of expected. The amount of presence Tom has level 1 and Jinx start range and Zeri, so they're able to put Peyz a little bit behind. Top lane, Kiin actually kind of toasting Doran so far. You know, the early damage of Rumble, not to be disrespected, but level 3 is hit. Kind of seen this, you know, where sometimes Rek'Sai can get bullied out early, but it's really like that level set like 8, 9. The passive scales up quite quickly.
Yeah.
And also, once you get some defensive itemization, that's when you really become immortal. But for now, Kiin has pressure and does have that ignite in pocket. As I say he has pressure, Doran is just doing Rek'Sai things.
Wait, no, he's full health.
He's just full health again. Oh, he must have popped his health potion in his inventory. Yeah.
It fills your whole health bar, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Zeka, pretty cute play there. Peanut's just going for double scuttle. He's not actually trying to do anything to Chovy here.
Just giving him a grasp attack, you know, a little slide by.
Feels good for Chovy, I guess. And yeah, that's the question. I mean, like the Rumble, it is pretty high value. It does have a decent lane into the right side. He's going to build Leandri's, I hope. If he goes...
Oh my god, if we see Rocket Belt...
If he goes Rocket Belt into this, Huni's going to give him negative stars for the first time.
Yeah, I actually think he'll get like a -3.
I trust Kiin. I think he's going to go... I think this one is kind of a no-brainer, right?
Yeah, you really need that bin.
You need it. And even early on, I think even when you do get the Leandries, it's not really going to matter. Because
I think if
the sustain is too high.
I think you kind of need like Leandri's Oblivion Orb.
He's going for the kill. Flash on in, and Kiin is in a lot of trouble. He is going to flash away, and now it's Doran in a lot of trouble as the knockup does not come in, and Kiin picks up first blood. Peanut is here.
Should have this.
Yeah, I mean, there's no flash, so just flash on in, and there it is. 3 hits.
Yeah.
And down he just go.
Total gold ends up going in favor of Honor Life Esports just because they got the assist, but a big boost to Kiin's power and a misread from Doran. You know, the whole point of the Rek'Sai is attrition, attrition, attrition. You win the trade by out-healing. You're into a Rumble with Ignite. I was just talking about how Leandri's Oblivion Orb would be really strong. The constant burn applying the Grievous Wounds. Well, in that situation, he had the Grievous Wounds available, and you kind of fed it to him.
Yeah, it was an overreach, you could say, from the side of Doran, and Kiin immediately does turn that one around. This one is smited. Cannon gonna pick up just the one bub. Bot lane, funnily enough, you know, sometimes we highlight this. There's generally a decent amount of action, a lot of fighting down in the bottom lane. Not really the case for Zeri versus Jinx at the moment.
Yeah, really just that's not farm fest. And now Kiin has ultimate. And this is the thing is, you know, we have occasionally seen this. For the most part, Rek'Sai just kind of neutralizes everything. But if you fall far enough behind that you can't even reach the minions, then you're not going to be able to heal. And Kiin is just kind of trying to zone Doran out here as much as possible.
Level 6 available. I mean, Zeka with this triple tonic that's given them the extra adaptive power. Maybe looking for something. Jonas Strong certainly expected it, but not going to pull the trigger on that one. Meanwhile, very nice hook does come in onto Viper. Decent
I
amount
feel
of
like
hook.
both the hook and the W from Peyz seem to just ignore minions a little bit there. Yeah, a lot of people probably be questioning the hitboxes there, but just some good eyes from Genji's bot lane looking for a punish, and now Kiin is really looking to capitalize on the advantage. And I feel like this is the kind of the thing that you need to be doing, need to see if you're playing this Rumble top with Ignite. That's why I was kind of concerned about it into the Rek'Sai, because you need to be really pushing the advantage to get value from it. And here, it's just like, you know, he goes for the trade. Again, Kiin trades a lot back because he's overheated. Doran heals up. He could just hit the minions and heal up again. Yeah. But he decides to opt into it, disrespects the scrap shield and the flash from Kiin. And it's Nimbus cloak as well, so Kiin, when he flashes, there's no catching him. And then Peanut's there for the cleanup. The thing is, this is going to be crazy for me to say. You could have just waited for Peanut to get there. You know, like...
Imagine that!
Imagine!
Imagine!
My jungler is coming. Should I wait? No, I will all in before he reaches.
Yeah. Doran and Peanut have played many years together, and for some reason, sometimes Doran just doesn't get the memo. It's okay. I mean, it's
he's
just
still
a little,
learning.
little bit of a Doran moment, and he's still Rek'Sai. So I think that's the biggest thing at the end of the day. He has an All Magic Mantle. Whatever. He's going to fall a bit behind. It's going to be great for Kiin, though, as now we have a knock-up here on the Cannon, who will just flash away respectfully. Not looking to stick around too long on that.
Yeah, right call. If the follow-up came in between the Viol and the Chompers, you were just dead. Once the Cannon strikes down, they were just going to kill you. And yeah, I mean, this top lane matchup's been going really good. Mid, we've seen Zeka constantly threatening and looking for charms or the Chovy. The problem is, every time you walk in and up and threaten a charm, you eat a lot of damage in return.
This is on Vision from Hub Life Esports. Knock up here onto Light, essentially just zoning them away, but he is going to get the lick down onto Lehends. Just threatening it.
The Light wanted to get the last passive proc, go for the gobble, throw him back in, but Lehends is able to disengage.
Going in again is Doran. This is fine if you just back up and then rejuvenate and, you know, regenerate some health. Because at the end of the day, like, Kiin can't do that, so...
Yeah, I mean, even, like, I was like, is that the timing you want to trade? Like, he was overheated. He had, like, the full blast flame spitter, and he was whacking him with empowered autos. It just doesn't matter. It just doesn't matter at all.
It's still... the Rek'Sai can heal through anything.
You see, what we failed to realize is Doran is actually full build. He has Doran Shield, Ruby Crystal, Null Magic. And that is the only items he needs to become immortal. Speaking of immortal, oh yeah, you can just tunnel away.
Yeah.
This champion's a little bit ridiculous.
He does get nerfed on 14-7. Some of that Fury generation on minions and stuff.
Yeah. I'm sure Kiin is thinking about that right now. He's like, oh god.
I wish it were 14-7.
Yeah.
Fortunately, Valdez, it is 14-6 for the entirety of playoffs. Unlucky.
Unlucky for them. And yeah, I think this pick is going to continue to be relevant throughout. Oh, they are got very dead.
Everybody is here, and Kiin's just going to equalize on the wave. He knows he's dead. Kill will go over to Peanut, and he doesn't even really kill all the minions.
Yeah, the equalizer not doing that much. I think part of it is because he went the early Sorks. So Sorks, obviously the magic pen, great against champions, but didn't have the AP ready to finish off the wave. And yeah, kind of surprised that Peanut ended up being the one to take the kill, but I guess it is a tank Rek'Sai top who just doesn't really care, so They give it over to him.
Give it to the Tom.
Void Grubs. True, actually. We've always talked about Senna giving these supports gold.
Yeah.
You know.
What if they just farmed instead? Who needs 80 carries?
What if they just funnel kills on Delight? It'd be like having our Tom with Senna. It makes so much sense.
Very strong. But instead, I guess the Vi will just pick up kills, get an early Sundered Sky, and, well, we'll see if he...
Sunder some skies.
Yeah, does go for that. Viper is fine. Doran is taking everything, and this time with the Ignite is actually struggling and gets flashed on. Ults in, and now they turn it around! You gotta be kidding me! Peanut here again, top of the morning with this Pengu. And Doran gets away.
You know, I feel like we saw the upper limits of immortality. We came close to Rek'Sai dying, but he simply refused. You know, that was down to the wire, especially with a champion like Rumble, especially with Ignite being on him. You know, things that tick so frequently. It wouldn't have taken much more for Doran to die there. But Peanut, I feel like he just has a sixth sense for when Doran's doing something silly. He's like, you know, he's just clearing a jungle camp, but it dawns on him, I need to be top in 30 seconds.
Yeah.
Something's gonna happen. My top laner is in danger.
Telepathic message comes in, and he's like, oh crap, I gotta be top again.
Yeah,
and
Doran's like, Peanut, I am going to die in 30 seconds. You can either be there, or you cannot.
Yeah, I mean, he benefits, right? Peanut will be happy at least. 3 kills already, Sunder Sky finish.
Yeah. It's just such a funny passage of play. Kiin having a rough time now as a result of this.
혼자 싸울게 일단.
Yeah, we can even see Peanut's pretty close by, so they wanted to set up for this. But he's just kind of hanging around, waiting for the commit.
Yeah.
He really waits a long time. He's like, no, he needs to be right under the tower.
와, 지렸다. 와,
Oh, man.
뭐야 이거.
That was sick, he says.
여기 못 잡네.
I couldn't get him.
He looks
He
so
says-
upset. I would be in that.
I mean, it looked like his Flame Spitter also was like hit to the side, right? Because he had to like spin around, but he got hit by the Vi in the side, so he couldn't turn it around to hit the Rek'Sai. I mean, Doran probably had about 20 to 50 health there, if even that.
Yeah.
So would have been enough, but not quite.
Must be so rough being a top laner, man. Just in a jungle that decides to ruin your day. What can you do?
We also spent a lot of the pre-show and early time. It was 8 HP, by the way, guys. Just got the confirmation from GEN and the team. Yeah, 8 HP, that's all you need.
It was a great scrying orb from Peyz there. I feel like this brush is just so broken for like camping it, and then just when the AD carry comes walking by, they just die. And I feel like if that happens, the game is just over. You miss so much in terms of plates, in terms of CS. So a good read to prevent that. Peyz obviously just level 9, just got the scrying orb.
Well, this is continuing to happen. I suppose if the Rek'Sai just stands in front of the Rumble
I feel
and
like
gives him
Doran's
the
like,
full combo.
Doran's like, I can totally out-heal your damage. And then like, the end of a Flame Spitter, he's like, I'm good. I'm fine.
It's like kind of okay. This Dragon looks to be going the way. Canyon gonna hop over the wall though, and it does go to Canyon. Just slaps that one down with this W, but now this fight going heavily the way of Humble Life Esports. Peyz just barely gonna get away, but Lehends will go down first. The Light's still on the chase here. Gets the slow on a Canyon, but that's a Jax. As the flash on in with the charm is huge from the side of Zeka. That's a second kill as Doran even gonna zone Chovy away from the fight.
I love how this composition plays. It's so fun seeing the Viari. As soon as Zeka starts getting kills, the chase down potential is there. The setup was good. The Dragon's taken by Gen G, but the fight so heavily in favor of Honor Life Esports. To get the top lane tower is a consolation prize, but I know for a fact that Honor Life Esports is still very happy with how that one played out.
Yeah. Also the fact that the plates were just not really there. I mean, he got 2 in total as, ooh, that's not enough information. And he knows it.
A good sixth sense on these things, honestly. It's so scary, though, in this situation. And now you've got this fed Jinx in a game that already feels rough. Like, the Vi is fed. The Ahri's already get big value. I love this positioning from Zeka. You know, the vision setup's not really fantastic for Gen G. They kind of rush into this one to steal the Dragon. Then Zeka comes in, immediate charm on a Peyz there, who doesn't have cleanse, remember, so it does end up sticking. You can see Zeka waiting for the reset onto the Nautilus to chase down here, and then so confident with the flash. He knows Canyon burnt it to get into the pit to get the steal.
Yeah, pretty straightforward from there. The chase potential is huge, and if you ever get the Jinx excited, you get the Ahri with some resets on that Essence, it just gets very overwhelming if you're not able to fight it.
We've always talked about compositions with an Ahri, and like, you get one kill, the reset potential is insane. But this is Ahri Jinx, you know, and you have Rek'Sai Vi, who are fantastic at killing single targets, and then you have Ahri Jinx getting resets.
And if anything goes wrong, Tahm Kench.
Yeah.
Also great follow-up engage.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I said in the draft, but I feel like this composition on like esports works so well. And Gen G in a difficult spot now, you know, and also the fact that Peyz doesn't have cleanse, and you're with a Nautilus who isn't gonna rush Mikhail's first item. If you get ulted by Vi, a Charm is following, maybe even the Chompers. Like, what is the counterplay?
Just ghost and avoid everything.
Yeah.
The Vi ults you, and you ghost back to the fountain faster than she can close the distance.
There you go. There you go. I feel like games like this are ones where AD carries really miss stopwatch being a thing.
Yeah, I mean, it was way too powerful for the gold that it was, that it cost. As the slow comes down with the zap, and Peanut, he's so tanky, he is going to go down, but the Devour comes through, and Delight is in a really rough spot himself. Peanut now trying to flash away. He is going to barely get away thanks to Delight as...
Well, the lightning.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe
they went
a little
pretty
bit
deep for that one.
A little bit over-aggressive there. They wanted the tower, maybe a bit more than they bargained for there, but they do manage to get out with it being a 1-for-1. Could have been a lot worse for Honor Life Esports. And a pretty quick reminder why you can't disrespect the Zeri. We saw that in Game 1, and we kind of saw it again here. A lot of focus there went on to the Nautilus, and it was clear Honor Life Esports thought it'd just be a free kill.
Chovy does not have vision of this, and he's going to get flashed on. No flash here for Chovy himself. Just waiting for that cooldown to see if he can get away, and just the edge of that one is going to hit away the Zeka, but it's not going to be enough, as Doran will follow up with his own ult, and that will be Chovy going down.
Yeah, really well played there by Doran, interrupting the dash, stopping him from getting away easily. A little bit of a misplay from Zeka, getting caught by the Emperor's Divide. You saw him try to step away from it, but didn't catch it. But it didn't matter in the end. Rek'Sai just so good for chasing down targets with that ultimate. Tower picked up, is traded in the bot lane. But once again, Honor Life Esports pushing the pace forward of this game. And it is a Mountain Soul, you know, super impactful one in this game. Honor Life Esports will look to get. Here's a replay of that. I think they didn't have a read fully on Kiin being here. Heavily overcommitted onto the Nautilus. And Peanut, I thought he was going to die inside the Tahm Kench because he had Ignite burning on him.
Yeah.
Yeah, just really nice interrupt there.
Good dodges from Chovy. I mean,
yeah.
He has to go very far left in order to do that, which kind of extends the play. So.
Yeah, it's one of those situations where sometimes, like, you sidestep to try and dodge something, and sure, like, it can work, you can dodge it, but then you just end up being further and further away from where you're trying to get to. It was just a very rough situation to be in without Flash. And a good pickup from Honor Life Esports, and now Zeka picking up a second item here. Has the Horizon Focus. Also have 2 items for the Jinx as well. Dragon's up now. Whoa.
Chovy TP right in front of that one, but at least Canyon is there. The Equalizer is huge value, forces out the Devour already, and now Delight's in a little bit of a struggle, but the Lehends also getting super low, ticking away, and Doran follows over the top as Canyon trying to get away, and Chovy looking for the angle, but he gets Vi-ultimated immediately. They do take out the Jinx, though, as the Zhonya's comes out, and Chovy, he wants to carry this fight all by himself, and it looks like he might just be able to create the space for Peyz on the chase, as the Flash of the Wall is not going to catch the Rek'Sai, but still a nice fight here for Gen G.
I cannot imagine how much Honor Life Esports would be stomping this series if not for Chovy. It feels like every game, every fight, he has to be the most impactful member to give Gen G some hope. And here it's the exact same. In this TP being ignored, it was a little bit goofy to start off. It looked like a little bit of a dangerous one. But he managed to navigate it, and it feels like the fight should go in favor of Honor Life, right? Equalizer down, the ult from Tahm saves them, and they managed to get this reset thanks to Doran, so reset potential, you going in. And it looks like, you know, Jinx is re-hitting, it should be fine, but this great angle catches Viper after the flash, gets him in, manages to the charm comes in from Zeka, and he actually manages to stasis it as well. Just really flawless play from Chovy there.
먹게 빠졌다.
No devour is what he said. And let's see.
나공 5초. 앞라인부터 봐봐.
Ult in 5
야,
seconds.
봐봐.
Hit the front line.
쟁크 노플, 쟁크 노플.
No flash, no flash.
나플 있어.
I have flash.
저게 안 찔려?
Wait, that didn't land? I think he's talking about
Yeah, trying to
his
get the last
soldier.
on Zeka. Zeka flashed away at the last second, but I just find it crazy. The game felt so favored towards Life Esports. It felt like we were kind of looking at, from there, them just closing it out, but you can never underestimate this Gen G roster. You can never underestimate Chovy, if we're being honest.
Yeah, pretty much.
Managing to make the big plays there. And it's still a game in favor of Life, but that dragon being secured, definitely a bit of a lifeline for Gen G. Peyz as well now 2-0-1 on the Zeri.
Oh, a play to be made here maybe as we're going deep into that backline. Once again, the 4-man into 4-man knockup. You've got to be kidding me. They're going to take out one of them, actually two, as now the front line is being burned here by Kiin. Picks up 2 kills by himself, but the backline was accessed the entire time by Doran and Delight. And Viper was untouched the entire fight.
Just such a beautiful engage. I feel like Life Esports playing as a unit, the engages they find, just a treat to watch, honestly. And once again, it looked like he was a little bit hesitant. It looked like Peanut was deciding whether or not he wanted to go in, but I feel like he was just looking for the right timing. He finds a beautiful angle. And this is kind of going back to the issue with playing Zeri into the Vi Ahri. Ult comes in, Charm is there to follow. Doran gets this 4-man knock up the bounce house with the Tom Kenj. You could put that in a textbook, honestly. That is an engaging masterclass, and it gets a little bit messy afterwards. You know, Zeka tanks the Azir tower that Viper clears up, but still a huge team fight win for Life Esports.
Yeah, it's massive. I mean, they ate a bunch of rumble damage, but that's because they were all in on the bouncy castle, which is what won them the fight. So Kiin cleans up a little bit, but that's about it on the side of Gen G.
Viper now has 5 kills on the back of that.
Yeah.
And an IE, so that's becoming a problem. That's becoming a big problem.
He is, you know, last fight around, he had to flash, didn't get over the Azir wall and kind of went down, but imagine now some of those excited shots going off first. Like, Chovy might do that and his team might be dead because the Jinx killed everybody. It is quite strong.
Yeah, and I think
especially if you're this fed.
No one feels that tanky on the side of Gen G, right? Like, Doran obviously feels basically immortal, but
because they picked R5 Jack's jungle.
Oh, yeah. If you hit like a charm on someone, if you hit some CC on a target, and Viper fires an ult, they are probably just dead if they're not flashing out. And then as soon as the reset starts, it's so hard to get away, so hard to evade the situation. Dragon is up in a minute 12. Baron is also up as well, so teams need to keep an eye on this, make sure they have vision in the vicinity. You can see Gen G trying to establish some there. But 4,000 gold lead, I think Life Esports should start sweeping up these objectives going forwards.
Yeah, you would imagine, especially after the way that last fight went.
Also, you know, I was saying no one feels that tanky. Kiin has taken it upon himself. He has said, I will be the tank. Yeah. You know, he's gone the... what's it called? The Omnivamp item? It's escaping me. Riftmaker.
Riftmaker?
Riftmaker. And then I assume that's a Jack Shows coming up next.
Yeah.
So he's trying to be bulky.
He's going to be a bit bulky. I mean, the Jax will be a bit bulky, has a bit of that like Xinjiao-esque-ness where, you know, you kind of throw up a counter-strike and maybe you survive for a bit more and you have some bruiser items, but nobody's really a true tank. The Nautilus is support, so...
Yeah, I'm going to be honest, I feel like you're probably still going to get bursted down, but I also think that they probably aren't focusing the Rumble regardless. I think the focus is always going to be Peyz.
Yeah. That would be the idea. I mean, at the end of the day, Kiin, he did an insane amount of damage in that last fight. Maybe if he's doing more, could be able to like get something going on their side with their engage, and then maybe, you know, you burst someone down. But if he's going tanky, you don't quite have the same.
It's always a question, though. Like, he obviously is going to limit his damage with this build, but he's also going to survive longer. But is that going to be relevant?
Yeah.
kind of here.
And they have an Azir, so they have like extra AP damage on top of it. So
yeah,
maybe he's like, I don't need
Chovy is going like the tank Azir build again. I thought he was going to go the damage build in this game, and it appears not.
2 bruisery AP champs here on the side of Gen G. Doran's eating some damage, but he's red side. Delight's really the one. He goes way too deep. We've seen so many people get caught in that exact corridor, and Delight is no different.
Such a massive overstep. The question is, what are Gen G going to do this time? In theory, they could go towards the Baron, but do you really want to be in the Baron pit against this 4-mana Hololive Esports? I feel like losing Delight loses a safety net, but you still have so much power in these fights.
Look at the amount of pings that are going down here from the side of Hololive Esports. They want to fight this, and I mean, you still have nice pick potential. You take someone out immediately, maybe you get it going. Also a potential for the steal as the Equalizer doesn't do much. They get in the backline. It does go the way of Canyon, and Peyz is over the wall. They go super deep for this one as Chovy goes deep himself, but Viper gets away. Zeka over the wall with the flash, and will pick up a second kill. Viper on the chase here, looking for a bit more, but Peyz and Canyon get away with the Baron buff.
And honestly, this ends up working out for Gen G. It ends up going in their favor. They clutch the smite thanks to Canyon. They end up trading over the whole passage of play about even, you know, if we include the light kill. So I think they'll take it. You know, it looked rough, but it ends up working out. The downside is, though, that you're giving all these kills over to the Jinx. Delight just an obvious overstep here. This is a delicate situation. You can see they beeline towards Peyz, but it's very hard to kill Peyz when he can just dash over the wall. And it ends up being Canyon securing the smite, and the front line of Hanwha just gets destroyed. But here, they managed to secure these 2 kills, and Viper can't really overstep there because there's Ares full HP and the Jax can obviously counter-strike. So, yeah, I mean, Gen G end up getting a pretty big win off the back of that play. And just as you're feeling like maybe this game is starting to go against them, maybe they're losing control, maybe it's just going to be a Hololive Esports win, they answer back and find a favorable play.
It's going to feel pretty nice. I'm not sure how much value they're going to get out of the Baron buff, but if they group up with the 2 guys that have the buff, could potentially see some damage done to this outer turret at least.
Yeah, and
a bit of chip.
Viper's gone the Bloodthirster, so a lot of AD when he's on high health, a lot of sustain from this, but no LDR. And people are starting to pick up armor on the side of Gen G, namely the AP solo laners.
There's also Mountain Drakes that are coming out here and there, so yeah, don't face check the Ahri. I suppose somebody had to, but there's no dragon for 2 minutes. As now another charm is going to land. Spirit Rush utilized, and Kiin is quite tanky.
Yeah, I'm not sure Zeka checked Kiin's items before he went for that play.
Try number 2. Not going to hit the charm.
You know, this seems like you're kind of wasting the ult, but with how low the cooldown is on Ahri ult, this is how you should play. Because you can even look on the left side of your screen. Look at that ult just tick away. It's so stupid how quick it comes back.
I remember when Ahri got changed and Faker was playing it a lot. This is the way he used to play, just overly aggressive, sometimes like too much so, you know? And it's because you got to be very proactive on the pick. If you're sitting back and you're doing like tank Ahri build and you're not doing damage, it's and you're not making plays, you're just kind of useless. So.
I think the only time where it's a bit concerning if it's like right before an neutral objective, you don't want to waste your ult like that. But that is the perfect timing where you want to play, you want to maybe burn a summoner or someone if you can find it. But unfortunately wasn't able to get it, wasn't able to get the charm on a Chovy. And Kiin is just a bit too tanky right now. And maybe this is where Gen G can get a big resurgence. They got a lot of gold from the previous passages of play. Oh, Delight.
Oh, Delight. He's going to flash away. The Equalizer doesn't do much, but now Chovy gets the Devour. Does Delight saves him for a little bit, but the dive is still there. Everybody on the side of Gen G getting under that turret. As now the turn trying to come out here, but there's not a lot of damage left on the side of Hololive Esports, and Peyz is running rampant in that backline. Zeka is barely going to get over the wall with his ult getting back, but Gen G make a nice play here in mid.
Yeah, really positive play, and Hololive Esports were just completely unprepared for it. In the last fight around the Baron, we saw Chovy attempt to shuffle Viper, and Viper flashed it. He knew that was down, he was ready. He's able to catch him, but the gobble comes in from Delight, saves him, but it's just not enough in that situation, right? The Tom eats the Jinx, and the Jinx ends up inside him, and then the Tom gets swept. So.
Yeah.
Still ended up backfiring now. Dragon's up in 10 seconds. Viper's up in a few. We'll see if they can actually make it there in time. Doran, you need to be underground.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay,
there you go.
Then do you want to rush this immediately? Because I know Jinx has to run over here.
Well, okay, they're going to pull it out. And then they are going to rush it down. And Peanut still could try to send it, but I think that's pretty risky, and they're just going to let it go. Gen G pick up Soul Point on the Mountain Soul.
And now they're actually in a gold lead, so much taken away. I feel like Gen G have kind of brought this game back from such a rough position. And I think it's just Honor Life Esports being caught off guard. In that last play, Zeka was top, you know, Peanut wasn't there. Felt like they'd kind of just expected Gen G to shove a couple of waves in and then back away, but
yeah,
they were definitely ready for the fight.
Got caught in their own jungle, and then Chovy found the angle and went under the turret. Had the backing of his whole team. As we'll take a look at this once again.
Yeah, I mean, Delight just overstepping here, trying to play defensive. Peanut, like, you can look at Peanut, he's in bot lane, he's not there. And as I said, like, Delight gobbles Viper, but he gets shoved in. And he obviously has no way of stopping that. Doran survives for a long time, he's so tanky. But they aren't really able to do anything in return on the back of this. And Zeka only ends up burning the ult at the end to get away. Just crazy, a game that really I felt like was so in favor of Honor Life Esports has kind of turned around, and the bulkiness of this Rumble, of this Azir, I think is giving Viper problems. He really needs LDR.
Yeah. It is pretty surprising that he hasn't built it yet.
It's also the fact that Zeka's gone Banshees, you know?
You just don't really have a lot of damage in this comp with these kind of builds, but I suppose he'll get it eventually. The game is not quite over. The gold is exactly even. But for the time being, Gen G seem to be very much handling these fights.
Yeah, and I mean, you have the enemy team carries going tanky, and they have double mountain. It feels really bad.
Unless Chovy just stands on choppers, but the turnaround is coming in, and now Doran is in a lot of trouble. He's going to be burned down, as nobody on the side of Honor Life Esports could follow up on that one. And Gen G, a pick and maybe a Baron.
Kind of seeing what can happen if the Rek'Sai does end up falling behind a bit. He's just getting shredded. Not able to buy enough time with the ult, not able to get off in the CC. Zeka?
Well, at least he has the Banshees, I guess, and now just going to ult into the Nautilus, and Chovy finds an angle, only hits the top. Kenji's so low! A chance here for Honor Life Esports, but it is Delight to go down first. The flash on in. Viper doesn't have any more summoners. He's going to go down, and the chase of this comp from Gen G is enough to pull them ahead.
Just crazy with how favored this game was towards Honor Life Esports. The team fight setup from Gen G has really just been so good, baiting HLE in that situation, and now it's two members alive. Doran is spawning soon. They're gonna have to try and stop the game from ending here and now.
Zeka, I think he needs his ult to actually... Oh, he's gonna get the smite down. Will Peanut, and now the turn, and then four-man knockup comes in, gives them a chance to pull this game back. You've gotta be kidding me once again. Another charm is gonna come in and hit Peyz, and they clean them up entirely in the base.
Just when you think the game is ending, they manage to find their way back in. The question is, will they be able to end? It's a big push to do it. It's about 30 seconds
I think they can.
on Lehends. I think they might just go for the Baron on the back of this. I think
yeah, that's safer.
If Jinx was here, different story, but
True.
she's only just spawned now, so they'll go for the Baron. And I'm literally here like, wow, Gen G really just brought this game back and managed to... Oh, never mind. Never mind. Chovy seems like an overstep, but he's just so damn tanky.
Yeah.
The chase down comes in. They set up the Baron here. They engage on the Nautilus, not the best decision. And Viper is patient with the flash, does manage to dodge away from Chovy, but now he is in a vulnerable spot. The light goes down, the cleanup comes in.
Good read from Canyon. He knows there's no summoners here for Viper. Had to flash the wall, so... But then this is just, I don't know, man.
Yeah, the charm there was so fantastic.
Oh.
And then the four-man knockup. You know, you're seeing the difference with Rek'Sai now with like the multi-man knockups, the value you can get. And obviously, in that previous fight, he kind of got one-shot, but if you can't just focus him down, the healing is still very significant.
Yeah. So now, the game is anyone's again. I mean, mid-inhibitor is nothing. They didn't get any Nexus turrets.
Yep, Viper has LDR now.
Uh-oh.
But it's Mountain Soul for Gen G if they secure this dragon, and they have control of the area, so I'm not sure. They're going to be some very tanky boys if they're able to pick up this soul. It's 30 seconds away, but Honor Life Esports are dealing with that mid wave at the moment.
Yeah, I mean, they can just push out mid and then try to challenge, but they got to be there right when this spawns, because Gen G have the damage absolutely to burst it down and get Mountain Soul, and then you've got a big problem. But here is Honor Life Esports. Banana Brush control for Gen G. They have control of this area. Can they execute it? As here we go, Zeka on in. Very nice hook here from Lehends into the wall as Doran goes in, and the rocket hits the front line, and it just looks like Doran is unkillable, but he eventually goes down, and now Chovy is in the back line. A very awkward devour as Viper. He gets a reset, but he has no summoners, and he doesn't have the damage, but now a front line for Zeka. A chance, but the divide comes in, and Chovy stands tall alongside of Peyz. They do the damage in the pit, and that might just be enough as they take down the Mountain Soul.
Oh, but Zeka's actually keeping in to clear the wave. He's trying to prevent an end here. Mountain Soul goes over Gen G. Absolute winners off that fight, off that passage of play. But they won't be able to end the game now. And it just feels like Life Esports, Chovy is such a threat. Zeka's got ult again. He's getting out.
Yeah.
Might be able to force it.
No, he's fine. He should be fine.
Yeah.
Yep.
Interesting place to recall, but who am I to judge? Yeah, so just focus on Chovy here. And, you know, the initial play starts to come in. Doran's been a big threat, but it feels like Chovy always has his eyes on Viper every single moment. Sets up the soldier, and then ends up threatening the ult, but doesn't use it. Forces the devour from Delight. Delight's like, where do I go? Get him away from the Azir. And then he gets in the reset on the Nautilus, but now he's in the pit. I mean, if Viper has flash, different story.
Yeah.
You can flash over the wall and free hit, but you know, they just weren't winning that passage of play, especially when Chovy and Peyz are still up, still doing the damage.
Yeah. The pump fake was insane. I mean, the fact that he forces the devour, forces that play, zones them into the pit, and gets things back in control here for Gen G. I mean, the Mountain Soul is going to be the big one. Don't pay too much attention to the gold. And yes, I mean, there's still a fed Jinx, but Chovy's insane right now. He's very fed himself, and Peyz is also Zeri.
They're so bulky. I mean, even Zeri has such high base stats, but like Zeri is the squishiest target on this Gen G roster. And Life Esports composition relies on getting resets. Hard to get any when they're so bulky.
All right, gonna go for Lehends. Forces the flash. Spirit Rush utilized. And now they're on the run. It's kind of difficult to get away from this comp, though. As trying to zoom in here onto Zeka. He's going to land a charm on a Chovy, but not committing to this play.
Completely unfazed. And it feels like Gen G are just abusing tank items to victory. That is their strategy.
Fair.
And it's working. You know, this composition from Life Esports has lost so much follow-through. I do think there may come a moment where if Gen G make a big mistake, you can suddenly see the Jinx start to take off. But as of right now, that's just not happening. You know, we have the Randuins on the Rumble. He's not taking much damage. That 100% crit chance that the Jinx has is kind of working against you against Iron.
That's true. And the longer the Rumble stays alive, I mean, yeah, his damage might taper off a bit because he's not going for damage items, but
he's going to hate this, but it's working.
It's working. It is. At least he built the Andres, like we said, right?
Yeah.
You should build that item. Went even one haunting guys further for the Rift Maker, and is pretty tanky. He's doing a good amount of work for this team at the moment. Still feels like anyone could win this game. I do think that Gen G are kind of in the driver's seat with this Mountain Soul.
Yeah, I think Gen G definitely have the edge right now, but it's approaching Elder, and we all know that just means shenanigans.
Yeah, could be anything.
Oh, I mean, is a Rexa, that's still Bolt TP.
Is it Bolt? Or is it just Rek'Sai things?
Like, you know.
Just back away from it. I mean, I'm pretty sure they would have done the same if that was like Udyr or Cassante, anything else that's significantly tanky.
I think, yeah, I mean, probably, to be honest. These champions just are built different. Yeah, can I get in a little bit of a quiet point, you know? I think we can kind of take stock of the summoners. Peyz doesn't have flash for a little bit longer, and Lehends is without his. Not sure because of the Hex Flash how long it is to go. But a lot of summoners available for Life Esports. They're setting up this Baron right now. Ideally, for Life, you secure the Baron, and then you use the pressure from it to keep Gen G away from Elder. That's like the game plan, but that's a lot easier said than done.
I don't think Gen G are going to just give the Baron over either, as, yes, a lot of vision has been cleaned out in the Gen G jungle, as we can see. But Gen G just going to push out mid and say, okay, we'll use this prio in mid to just push and get some vision. And somebody's got a face check. Probably the guy with the counter-strike.
Yeah.
And it just pushes forward. And they have an Azir turret down in mid as well, so that's going to keep up the pressure.
Yeah, they're trying to pull them towards Baron where they know they've cleared out the vision. Gen G get control of Banana Brush. Oh, Zeka.
Yeah, spots him, and now an equalizer right on top of him, but he just dashes away. Pretty low, though, is the Ahri. And Kiin's ult is going to be longer cooldown on this one. Chovy getting poked out as well, just bit by the zaps. And a rocket to the face. That was nearly another one.
This feels so tense. TP's available for Zeka. He wants to recall. I think Honolife Esports benefit from stalling this out, getting some poke in, and getting Ahri's cooldown back available. It's not going to take long. They're actually moving towards the top lane tower here, while Zeka covers mid, and Doran just kind of plays interrupt. They can't really
He's going top.
past him. Yeah, they're going for the top lane tower.
They're zoned away. Gen G, I think they might lose their inhibitor here.
The thing is, this seems good, but Elder's up in 40 seconds. It's like you're forcing Gen G back.
Well, yeah, you're going to force them back. You're going to force a fight, I would imagine. I mean, they could even look at the Nexus turrets, but now back's coming in. Now Life Esports don't want to overstep. Chovy looking for an angle now.
Oh, look at Lehends.
Yeah, he's thinking about it, surely. As is Chovy. Delight looking pretty tasty right now. Look at him trying to just hobble his way out of here, and the equalizer going to slow him down even more. Delight, though, is on the top catch as flash forward here from Kiin, trying to just get that damage in, and now Doran, he gets a knockout, but there's no follow-up here. Ults in, flashes away, and now a chance here for Chovy, gets in, gets a sweep, doesn't hit much, and now he has to go into his own, and now Peanut over the wall. He's not going to get over the wall. Not going to get over the wall. Maybe a good thing, actually. See?
Yeah, long wall there. You can tell they want to fight, but like Baron's up, Elder's up. You have to make something happen.
A charm and a chance, and Canyon gets in, hits the stun onto everybody, and that's going to be the end of the Jinx, and maybe just the end of the game, as now 4 kills come in for the Zeri. And a chance maybe to push the top wave as Peyz will go up here.
Such a scrappy game. You know, I was ready to call it in the mid game. I felt like Honolife Esports had firm control, but this one, not only is it a huge win for Gen G, but such a tilter for Honolife Esports. They must have felt that game was completely in control, and then suddenly everyone in Gen G starts building tank, and they're all just unkillable.
Get him out in Soul, build some tank items, and win some team fights as a death ball. They do exactly that. Gen G going to take a 42.5-minute game here as game 3 in the series and take the lead 2-1.
What a half.